Get it.
Welcome to this week's episode of Duality Podcast. I'll be Mr. Business.
And this your boy, Mr. Social.
What's going on there, brother?
Hey, man. Everything's great.
How's the weekend so far?
Can't complain. So good. So far, so good.
All right,
Having a great time, enjoying this late summer weather. It's cooled off. That's how I like it.
Yeah. But now you think about season changing. It's a little different now. You know, flu season wrapped into everything else going on. These kids about to starting to get sick. It's going to be kind of a hectic time the next couple of months for these kids.
Well, you know, go old school, get a shot of turpentine, a spoonful of castor oil.
Turpentine?
I might be wrong.
Man, you poisoning the kids? Turpentine? Like, wait a minute.
I had a southern family. They got all kind of crazy, household remedies.
Yeah. Put some fat back on your back and all this kind of stuff. Make
Put it in a dirty sock with a rotten egg. And
there's a lot going on with that. There's a lot going on with that. But yeah.
What's been going on with you? How was your weekend?
So far, so good, bro. Perfect, bro. I can't even complain. Can't even complain, man.
Okay.
You kind of learn, man, when you let some shit go, man, a lot of real good stuff opens up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just, man, listen, learn to drop dead weight has actually been the most beneficial thing.
I agree.
You know what I
You
mean?
know, that's something holding you, like you said, dead weight. Think about that. That's holding you down. You let it go, start elevating.
Man, I realized, bro, I was running on autopilot for real. Like, for real, like, I was just like a routine person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not living for me, just living for everybody else. Now,
True.
you know, I got a chance to live for me, bro. I'm liking this life.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm liking it, bro.
Well, that's what we're here to be, you know what I mean? Life likers.
Yeah. I'm trying to get an extra 50 now, you know?
Okay. You pushing it.
Yeah, that's the plan.
You pushing it, but that's a great goal to have.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit 100, man. That's the plan. I'm trying to hit 100.
Got to get healthy. Health is wealth.
Yeah, which leads to prostate, colon, fellas, go get it done. Get it done.
Absolutely.
Save your life.
They say that, and it's really true. It makes sense. Early detection, stuff like that. All y'all guys out there, remember, man, let's be serious about that. The colon cancer and prostate cancer is affecting a lot of men across the board. So definitely get your checkups with your doctor, man. Let's not be punks about this. Go to the doctor.
Yeah, for real, because a 1 hour situation can save your life.
Right.
Literally save your life.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Because once you see chemo, you don't want to be involved in it. Once you see it.
I believe that.
People don't realize, man, chemo affects more than just a person. And even oncologists will tell you, as a family, you have to take care of yourself too.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't healthy, you ain't going to take care of nobody.
Gotta have that strength, that energy.
You got to.
Right. And you got to be careful, you know, you're not bringing, because their immune system already susceptible to a lot of things. Right. You got to make sure you're in tip-top shape. You're going to be around them.
Yeah, so the key is, man, go get tested, get your checkups, get your blood work, whatever it do to get your health as close to A1. You know, we had a 7 point in our life. We ain't gonna never have A1.
No.
But at least get a B+. I mean, I'm good with that at this point. You know
I'm definitely, I think I'm on that other side of the hill as well. But, you know, got to do. I definitely got some stuff I want to fix personally that I know will help me in my health. I did speak with my doctor about the checkup. They got new ways to, through your blood work, check it. So far, so good with that personally. But there's some other stuff I definitely need to get in effect.
Yeah, I think it's this, one thing at a time. Just knock one thing down.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
For me, the key is make the appointment. That's the first step. Make the appointment. And then secondly, go to the appointment. You know what I mean?
Why? When did that happen? Why? You know, is it our male egos that, you know, we tough enough, we don't got to go to the doctor and really check? Like, what drives people to think they don't have to go and get a medical expert to check you out?
I think it really is male ego for the most part. Because, you know, older dudes, you know what I mean? They always quick to tell you, ain't no man playing in my ass, but they'll let the chick do it. I don't understand the logic. You know what I
Maybe
mean?
she could give him the test. That's how we could start getting it. Start training the women to do the examination and test, because then them guys let them play in their ass.
I mean, you know, we might have to need to talk to some health professional. I think we can get it done.
Bro, we could put a patent on this. First at home ass tickling colon check.
That's a little different at home, though. That's a little different.
Yeah, bro, they go home, they motherfucking go up in there, get a little piece of that thing, check it out, cough. What do they do that?
I don't think the colon you cough. You know what I mean? Not the colon. I think the colon. I think they said they make sure you got to pass gas before you leave, though.
Whoa.
Like
so they want you to fart in their face.
Well, you know, in their hand or something, but you got to get rid of it. I know that. They say they won't let you leave until you pass gas. That's the rule for colon.
I didn't know that. I'm definitely not looking forward to that.
What?
But, you know, I'm looking forward to making sure I'm healthy. So, there you go, fellas. Over all that, you got to look at the end goal. It's to make sure I'm healthy, so you should endure all those little uncomfortable moments.
I think they said colon, you pretty much sleep anyway, like when they do a kind of deal. You're not woke.
Or is it prostate? What's the
No, prostate, you woke, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But they can do that through the blood now, you know what I mean? Like,
that's the one they was doing so far. Yeah, he said I needed the colon
check. The rumor was the doctor used to keep their ring going back in the day. So let me stop playing. But nah.
Hey, listen. I got something I want to bring up. I know I did it last week, too. But I'm going to go a little bit. Hot topic.
What is it?
Hot topic.
What's going on?
President number 45.
Okay.
There was a whistleblower who came out that worked at Homeland Security.
Okay.
And he doing the whistleblowing now. You know, he ratting, he snitching, he telling, he getting justice. No, but he said that he had senior White House staff members that was approaching them about a couple of things. One, to downplay the fact that white supremacist groups are the #1 terrorist threat to our country. This is an intelligence report from the Homeland Security that senior White House officials wanted them, let's not say that. Let's say Antifa. So I'm going to stop on that a minute. These people that support Trump, you don't want to, brush everybody with the broad stroke, but you got to be racist too, or fools.
Okay.
This is one of the most overt racist acts I think he did so far. At the same time, you tell him don't downplay the white supremacist groups as a threat, and then put it on the black groups. The whole narrative from him and his camp and most Republicans and all these crazy people that's following them, to me, and I don't usually try to call people all these names, but whatever, right now, I'm mad. They screaming Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group. Antifa, I don't even know what Antifa is a terrorist group. But the facts show that it's white supremacist groups. Right. Nah, we ain't going to tell them that. We're going to flip this story. That's crazy. That's super racist. That's really like, I couldn't believe it that he was saying that. So then the other thing was, again, we heard this before, but he was saying it really was Russian interference with the last election. Right. And he wanted him to change that or tamp that down too and not, soften the blow up. And this is like, he don't even do the stuff that most presidents, no matter what side they on, they always respected the intelligence community and the information they got from there. This joker trying to change it.
Yeah, you got to factor in something with him. Hey, he was never a politician, first of all.
True.
So he's always been a businessman. He runs everything as if he's his business. You know what I mean? He's not running it. He's not political. He's the only president you can't even pretty much name his cabinet.
No, because they changed every 3 months.
Yeah, even if he had one. You know what I mean? Like, he's pretty much saying, I'm the face of this whole country, so because of that, I'm going to be the only one talking.
Right.
Because he's a businessman. He look at this. He look at the world like a board meeting.
Man,
You know what I mean?
he's aligned himself with other dictator type leaders in the world, and alienated our allies. He keeps screaming patriotism, and he like the most anti-USA guy that's out there. You know?
Yeah, you gotta think about this too, bro. He got money to be made once you leave the White House. So in a way, like he's positioning himself that let me build, let me use the White House pretty much as a front to build up my political, my business on the outside.
I say this. Ain't even got a contingent of black folks that say that we just blindly follow the Democrats and things like that. Okay. Or we just picking the lesser of two evils. Okay.
That's true.
I tell you what this man said, what was it, like 10 years ago? If I ever run for president, I'll run as a Republican because they the dumbest people.
Yeah.
And what did he do?
Yeah, I just read an article, though, honestly, this week.
Mm-hmm.
That saying was in People's Magazine, but you can't find it where he actually said it.
Wow.
Right. I saw it was on YouTube. It said you can't find the actual, there's no clip or nothing where he actually said it. You know what I mean?
So
like, you know how, right. So you know how it is, that court of law shit.
This that don't surprise me. You say he got money, he do business. He got somebody to go get that, squash. That's what them big time guys do. They pay to get the information hidden and stuff like that. So.
But I guess I look at it with him too. That's the funniest thing. He's more of the quote unquote what they call stereotypical black.
Right.
2 baby mamas. Warrants. Foul bankruptcy. That's supposed to be black people shit.
True.
He became president with the same thing. He don't, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
He's pretty much the poster child for these things. Because he going to jail in New York once it's all over.
Nah, he moved to Florida. He already changed his permanent address to Florida.
Yo, New York want him bad, like, for real. Like, they can't wait.
He did. Mm-hmm. He been messing up. He still ain't showed them taxes either. Yo, one thing I will say, I wish other politicians do be like him in some ways as far as just being bold enough. Like, it do come a point you don't always have to do what the status quo do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go in a different direction. This is how this country has always grown. This is how you grow as a person. You got to change and get uncomfortable, blah, 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 right? I do wish that some of them would be as straightforward as he is sometimes.
Yeah, you think about it, bro. The president, he running 2 houses. He got his wife and his kid in New York. They ain't even coming over here. You know what I mean? They ain't coming to D.C. So he got Secret Service like the budget. He blew the budget year 1.
I give the first lady some props on that. She wanted, her son. She said she wanted him to have much normal life as possible. So that's one of the reasons they didn't want to go to D.C. per se, and live there under that spotlight.
Which other kids didn't have a normal life?
That's her choice though. No, I'm saying she felt like it would be too much. And the real thing is, because motherfuckers hate him. You're going to hear all kind of nasty shit, and she probably trying to just keep her son farthest away from it as possible. She might be scared that somebody's going to do something to him.
In New York, though? South Dakota, maybe. But in New York?
Yeah.
He going to hear it worse. He was better off in D.C. For real.
I mean, maybe, rich people are able to shelter themselves in a lot of ways. So in New York, he could be there, but he probably go to private school. He got this person picking him up, got a driver doing that. He never get in contact.
Yeah. So bad for the Obamas. Their daughters had to be out there in the real world. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
They had to go to real school, real college.
And they was really good examples. They did really well.
And you seen the pic when, like, Michelle, like, about to tell daughter, Sasha, I think it was, when they got off the plane. Sounded like she about to cry. Michelle, like, quit playing with me. Like, it was a nice pic. And Obama, like, the typical dad, I'm out of this one. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to do with it.
I ain't got to do with it. That's all y'all.
Yeah, something like, I think he should have been able to deal with it like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I think that was just too much of the government money, taxpayer money blown.
True.
You know what I mean?
I think one of the main things with all that saying, especially this 2020 election coming up, is real important, man. Get involved. Get active. I personally say vote. It's a certain segment of population that don't believe in voting. If that's the case, what are you doing actively, though, to upgrade, to lift, the community through some kind of service?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Man, get out there and vote, man. Be a part of the political process. Be a part of your community. If you don't like it, you don't get the right to just. I want to start. They got that cancel culture. This person cancel. I'm tired of people that always talk but don't do nothing. Just sit back and criticize what everybody else do.
Yeah, them the main people that don't vote. Yeah.
Get it together, man.
But here's the thing about voting. It ain't only about the president. We got to vote on local levels, too.
Absolutely.
See, everybody always think about the presidential vote, like not realizing there's some shit going on in your town. You can vote.
And it usually affects you, even more, the local
Absolutely.
stuff,
Absolutely. And because of that, that's why we got First Ward Councilman Carlos Torres.
Okay.
He's here today. We're going to see what's going on with him.
City Councilman of Elizabeth, New Jersey, in the First Ward, Councilman Carlos Torres. How you doing today, Councilman?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
All right, well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you here, man. What's going on? How you doing? How was your weekend so far?
My weekend was well. Got to spend time with the family. My grandson was up here for the summer. He just went back last week. So,
you a granddad?
3 times.
Papi Chulo.
Actually, his birthday is the 15th, which is, 2 days from now?
Yep.
2 days from now.
Actually, tomorrow is the 15th, right? No, you're right. Today's 13th. Okay. So 2 days. 2 days. Congratulations and happy birthday to your grandson.
Yeah. I have a 7-year-old, a 7-month, and a 3-week-old.
Brand new one.
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
So I'm blessed.
But I'm Dad that Kurt.
But he Dad that Kurt.
Okay, we're going to let that one go.
You will always be Dad that Kurt.
Historically. So, okay, we're going to tap into some things with you. We're going to tap into, where do you want to go first? Because you got a lot of hats, so we're trying to figure out
a lot of hats. Let's go. How about this? How about we go there? We're going to start, going back. Some of y'all might know, we know this man here off camera, and, we grew up. So I want to frame it like this. You're a city councilman, right, for the city of Elizabeth. Kind of just give us a general description of, what does the city councilman do?
And that's a great question. The city councilman here in the city of Elizabeth, we are the legislative branch of local government.
Okay.
So basically, we set the budget for our city. Without setting that budget, no one gets paid. 60% of our budget goes to our first responders. We create ordinances and amend ordinances. So, times has changed. So things that might have worked 100 years ago don't work now.
Right.
There's a perfect example. We just created an ordinance where there's no smoking in restaurants several years ago. Because back then, everyone went to a restaurant, they smoked. So local parks, now that we know that cigarettes are not healthy, we just made that ordinance and amended it. So it's just stuff like that. We do so much more.
Right.
But we just got to make sure that the city has its budget and, everyone gets paid. And if everyone gets paid, the city doesn't run. So.
True. Now, my thing is, what sparked the whole I need to get in politics? Like, where was the light?
Well, in 2012, I'm running a trucking company. I'm coaching football. Life is great for me. The councilman at the time decided to run with the mayor, the ward councilman. There's 6 wards in the city of Elizabeth.
Okay.
So that councilman decided to move up and run with the mayor as council at large because there was a vacant seat. People in the community started approaching me and asking me, hey, why don't you run for councilman? And the same thing you said. I said, well, what's a councilman? What does a councilman do? So basically, I went to City Hall for 3 weeks. I sat in the audience and I watched. And basically, all they're doing is trying to improve your area. Right. Each councilman is trying to improve his area, bring businesses, job opportunity, housing. So I walked up to the mayor and I said, Mayor, my name is Carlos Torres, and I have a vision for the First Ward. I was born and raised down there, and I'm going to run for councilman. And the only advice he gave me was make sure you shake the right hands. The rest is history.
Okay. Good. So why do you this is a part I think we can ask with all the hats you was wearing, what before even just running, like you said, you was coaching football, you was running your business, Carlos Trucking, right? What were you doing before that? Why was the people in the community approaching you?
Well, before the council position, I was always involved in the community through youth sports. I tell this story 1,000 times. Growing up in the city of Elizabeth, especially the First Ward, I've seen a lot of things that many kids should never see. There's some great people that live in the First Ward, hard-working people, but they labeled us. They basically said, this part of the city, there's nothing but people on welfare, bums, cockroaches, you name. And I always took offense to that because that's not me and that's not the people that I surround myself with. Everyone needs help. Everyone needs help once or twice in their life. Growing up down there, my father came from Puerto Rico. My mother is actually from McGlory Manors, but I always claim Piner Homes.
I don't know how that happens.
When he came from Puerto Rico, he took my mom out of that situation, but we were on assistance. I remember going to the store, food stamps, and when he got on his feet, then we got off the assistance. But that doesn't mean that we were less than.
Right.
So I always took offense to that. So when you had teachers and people from other parts of the city will come to our area like, I can't come down here. They're bad. Everyone down here robs people, and that's definitely not true. Right. So I wanted to change that whole mindset of people, the way they looked at residents of the First Ward. So that's why I was very passionate. When they said, Carlos, you have a vision, why don't you run for councilman and change the way people, and I said, absolutely, that's something that I'll do.
Now, my thing, we all First Ward, we always been First Ward. What has been the most challenging about what we know how we came up current day? What's the most challenging so far?
Job opportunities and housing.
Okay.
We have a lot of individuals who just their mindset, they would go to a job interview but not be properly prepared. So, in City Hall, we implement on-the-job training to give these guys the tools that they need to go to a job interview and to get that job But their mindset, sometimes they're just stuck. You have individuals that would approach me and say, this is a true story. Carlos, can you help me get a job? I was like, absolutely. Here's an application. Wakefern just opened up their warehouse. Well, what do they do there? I said, well, right now it's unloading and unloading trailers and loading trailers. And, if you work hard, you probably can move up. No, I want to be a supervisor. Straight off the top. And I'm like, you got to take baby steps. You got to take baby steps before. But some people just don't get it.
Okay.
So we here with Councilman Carlos Torres from Elizabeth, New Jersey. And we said, we wear many hats. I heard you speak of being a coach. In a minute, let's talk about that a little bit. What kind of coach? Where do you coach? Who do you coach?
Youth football.
Okay.
Youth football in the city of Elizabeth. The organization that I coach for now is the Eastwood Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboy fan. I'm a 49er fan. But
you made sure to add that in.
Correct. But, growing up in the city of Elizabeth, like I said, I had two sets of friends. I had friends who were into stuff that they weren't supposed to be into, and I had friends who changed my life because they were into sports. So growing up, I was on that path, and if I didn't make that left when I was supposed to, I'd probably be dead or in jail. But sports changed my life, and that's why I'm so passionate about our youth and sports, that I wanted to duplicate the same thing that I went to, and basically keep kids. If we can keep kids 2 or 3 hours each day off the streets, you can change their life. Because back then, you know, growing up in the 80s, I don't know if you guys seen the show The Wire. That was Elizabeth. There was drug dealing on every single corner.
Absolutely.
There was no social media.
Absolutely.
So, but we averaged like 30 probably homicides. There was a killing each and every day. But the game, there was some type of respect level where if you play sports, it didn't bother you. You know what I mean? They would tell you, hey, get off the corner, keep it moving. Now, they'll take the star quarterback or the star point guard, and they'll make him hustle.
Yep.
And guess what? He threw his whole career away. Right. So that's why I was passionate about starting an organization. I actually started coaching the Elizabeth Giants when I first got into youth sports under 3 individuals, Ahmed, Ishmael, Hamza Abbas, and Malik Jackson. They were called the Elizabeth Giants back then. And they showed me the blueprint, and after 20 years of them coaching, they didn't want to do it anymore. So I wanted to continue, and so I did.
Good.
All right. Do you still have the same passion for the game with the youth that you had in the beginning?
Absolutely. Okay. I took a couple years off when I got into politics because I was being pulled in a million directions, and I said, you know what, let me just. But after 3 years of not coaching, I decided that I came back.
Time to come back.
Yes, absolutely time to come back.
So you had that itch.
Absolutely.
And you founded the Eastwick Cowboys. So I want to commend you and appreciate that. That's another help in our community. You know, we need that, like you said, a positive outlet for them kids. Same thing I can speak of, you know, sports, team sports. It sounds cliche-ish, but it actually really gives you a lot of life skills, man. And you meet people with diverse backgrounds, all kind of stuff that's really positive through youth sports. So I'm a big advocate of that as well. Appreciate that.
And I guess with me, I play sports on a different level. I think I play sports out of boredom. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it was just fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
That fadeaway.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't
the Black Larry Bird.
I mean, listen, whole game patent. Hey, listen, I loved it. At what point in becoming a councilman did you really understand the political part of it? You know what I mean?
I'm still trying to understand.
Okay.
It's a very powerful position, but it's a dirty game.
Okay.
It's a dirty game. Everyone is trying to elevate themselves, and they don't have a problem stabbing you in the back or throwing you under the bus to get to where they want to get to. And I'm not used to that. Like, I keep my circle small. Since I was young, I still have the same group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
But in politics, you got to shake hands, you got to meet people, you got to do favors, quote unquote, so that, you know, if you want a new playground, remember, there's 9 council.
Right.
I got to have the majority. So if the majority votes no, I don't get a playground. So I have to do something for them so they can do something for me. So I'll support something in their ward, they'll support something in my ward, and that's how it works.
So that saying is true. Politics make strange bedfellows.
Absolutely.
You gotta get in bed with all types of people.
Because you know how you hear, like, well, how did they get this and we didn't get? Now you understand it because everybody have to collectively, like you said.
Right.
Okay.
You might have done pissed somebody off, so they were like, "We ain't never voting for this stuff."
That happens.
Yeah. Because you always hear this, like, when people get into politics, they don't start out a politician. You stay in it long enough, you know. Because like you say, everybody has these big initiatives they want to get in, but then when they get in, they realize it ain't as simple as what they print was, you know, in that sense. So that's why I was wondering, like, for you, even moving forward, do you have any aspiration going past councilman?
I'm just trying to be the best councilman that I am. You know, I truly believe that if I don't put that work in, don't vote for me.
Right.
So, you know, other politicians will, you know, come to your house and kiss your behind, and that I'm not that guy.
Right.
I truly work for the community, but if that's not good, the truth of the matter is I can do 9 things out of 10 for you, but that one thing I don't do for you, I'm the worst guy in the world. And that's just I've never been looked at like this before in my life. But since I got this counseling, it's just there's certain people I can't help. There's certain situations I can't help you with.
Right.
And for that, you know, people look at me different. Oh, he changed. It's just, I can't help you. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Hey, people, he got to do his job. Just like a lot of other people, people expect you to put your job in jeopardy just to help them.
I just said you got to pick your fights.
True.
You got to pick your fights, you know what I mean? Like, our fight ain't your fight, you know, because we look at it from a different level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want what we want immediately.
Sure.
Now, realizing you got, you know what I mean, you got protocols and all this stuff to go through to get to where you're trying to get to. So in the process of doing all this, what sparked the, what is it, Puerto Rican Alliance?
Yeah, Puerto Rican Alliance of Elizabeth.
Right.
PRAE, right?
PRAE.
That's the acronym PRAE.
Okay.
P-R-A-E.
So, as I stated earlier, my father's from Puerto Rico. He's 100% Puerto Rican. Jalil will tell you, you know, growing up, we had chickens in the backyard.
Y'all was fighting them?
No, he just.
Oh, I was just wondering. I mean,
He can't say that.
He just didn't have an alarm clock, so the roosters,
Old
woke
school.
him up. Old school.
Old
stuff,
school, okay.
You know. So growing up, I remember, I wanted to go outside and play basketball or football with my friends, and my father's like, no, we're going to, it's called La Casa de Puerto Rico, the house of Puerto Rican house. So basically, he would sing, he would play dominoes, we had parades, and I was like, man, I want to go outside with my friends. Now that I'm older, my first year on council, basically, the city raised almost every single flag, the African-American flag, the Portuguese flag, the Italian flag. And I leaned over to the mayor after the whole year went by, and I said, Mayor, when does the Puerto Ricans raise their flag? Did they take a year off? And to my surprise, he told me that the Puerto Rican flag hasn't been raised in the city of Elizabeth for over 12 years.
Wow.
So, and the last time they raised it, only 6 people showed up. So I wanted to show my community. We have the last census, we had 17,000 Puerto Ricans live in the city of Elizabeth. And we've done some great things from community to, the police department, law enforcement, first responders. And I know what my father has done for the community. So I said, you know what? I want to put a group together and I want to raise this flag. He said, just make sure that more than 6 people show up.
Okay.
And when I tell you, my first year I had over 100. Second year I had over 300. And I'm proud to say that for the last 2 years, I actually brought the Puerto Rican parade back on Elizabeth Avenue. And I had close to 5,000 people. We had like a big-time artist, Tito Rojas. But it's just about, celebrating your culture and your history and being proud of who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, do you have to be Puerto Rican to be in it?
Absolutely not.
Seriously?
No, absolutely not. You don't.
But it's just the celebration of Puerto Rican culture and history. So everybody could be a part. Do you have to be from Elizabeth to be a part of it?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just open.
It's open.
Okay. If people like to donate how would they donate to the Alliance?
They can reach out to my treasurer, Ms. Lily Duran, at, I don't know if I should give her phone number here, but...
you guys don't got an email?
Yeah.
Email.
Okay.
It's
all right.
Puerto Rican Alliance at gmail.com.
Puerto Rican Alliance at gmail.com. Get your information right there on all the Boricua information.
Yeah, it's very important.
Nah, but that's cool that I see you're a builder, so to speak. You started, sports organization, youth organization, a cultural organization. Do you got? You also are part of the RPM. And tell the people what that means.
RPM stands for Ride and Pedal Movement.
Okay.
It's a bicycling crew. Just a couple individuals from the community started it out. So basically, during this whole COVID pandemic, a lot of individuals were home quarantined, gaining weight. losing their mind, just staying home. I was one of those individuals. You know, I was in my room for 9 days because I wind up catching the COVID.
Okay.
So, one of the worst experiences of my life. You got to get up and exercise. So I tried going to the park and jogging. No good. My knees, my joints, my shoulders, my ankles. I'm not a young stallion anymore. Walking wasn't really doing it for me. So basically, like I said, a group of individuals bought a bicycle. We started biking through the city. You see things that you haven't seen before.
Right.
I mean, it's just a great experience, great exercise. Not just physically, but mentally, just to get out anywhere. When I'm having a rough day now, I just jump on my bike and I go. You know, first couple of times we went out, we did, 5 miles? Now we're averaging close to 30, you know. So, like I said, and then I never knew how big this bicycling community is. So now we join other groups from other towns, and if it's a community event or a social event, it's great. We just partner with them. Last week we partnered with Trent. They did a social injustice event in Paterson, New Jersey, and we partnered with them. But it's great. I mean, it's great. It's great exercise.
So it's kind of like the same thing, like a motorcycle club, how they get with other.
Correct.
Okay.
But now you got to keep up with the Joneses because, you know, I've rode bikes all my life, but never like this. You know, now you got to wear a helmet. There's certain signs you got to do when you come into an intersection.
This guy never rode a bike.
We're going to teach you. We're going to teach you.
At this stage of the game, I'm a watcher. I keep telling you, I'm a watcher.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
I'm going crazy because just a couple of weeks ago, he revealed that. So it make you think, like, fuck, I didn't ever see you on a bike, like, ever.
Never owned one, never wanted one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just something about two wheels and the ability to break something. Just didn't think. It just, And then I started hearing the story that he was saying, oh, your inside of your legs get chafed and all this. I'm like, no.
Well, damn, you just told us out of my business.
I'm saying, you said it. I mean, I done seen it.
So, yes, no, it's just, like I said, it's just a great, but you can't come out there on a Walmart bike. I mean, those bikes will basically, when you finish, you it's not a great experience. You know, it's rough.
Right.
The more expensive bikes you get, the better experience you'll have.
I know. I remember they got me into this a little bit. So shout out to RPM, everybody that's out there, the whole ride pedal movement. It's in 2 cities. I know that, at least 2 cities.
Yeah,
right?
we got Essex County, Union County, brothers from Newark, brothers from Elizabeth.
Yeah, they all mad at me too because I ain't been there in like 3 weeks.
See, but he
started off a ball of fire.
I told him he'd do 3 months. I'm there.
You didn't say that.
You remember?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember. He said if you do 3 months.
I said it now. You do 3 months, I'm there.
I'm going to get back on it.
Don't rush, though. I'm saying you, don't rush.
It was cool. I went out 3 times. I think one time I did 13 miles. That was for the ride for social justice. That's kind of what started. I wanted to get in the cause. Right. But then they was already way out there in what they ride and how many miles they do. So they was having some beginner days. We did 10 miles one time and like both times, 10 or 11 miles the other time. So I went out 3 times, all over 10 miles. I was proud of that. It is a good feeling of accomplishment. You know what's cool? Like you said, you riding through the city. So now we grouped up. It's 6, 8, 10 of us around there, you know. Mm-hmm. Everybody like, yeah, you ride through the city. Everybody sitting on their porch and, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ride, all right, you know. That do feel good. You know?
And I guess the one positive thing I can say about this COVID, this whole pandemic is you see people outside more exercising.
Right, right.
You know, I see groups of people going to the park right by my house, jogging every morning, walking. I didn't see that before. And now with this whole bike thing, that's the only positive thing I can say probably of this pandemic.
Oh, wow, okay.
Guess people put on that COVID 10 or 20.
Yeah.
They got to get it off of them.
Well, a lot of people.
And plus, people were just bored to death. That's what you think, right?
Right.
They out
Cabin fever, they call it, right?
Yeah, it was more mental for me.
Yeah.
You know, and this COVID, you know, it wanted to keep you down. It wanted to keep you in bed.
I'm curious, what did you have, like, how did you get the whole trucks from stop going down First Street situation? Like, because I know that it just happened. Well, for us on the outside, you look like, boom, they just stopped. Like, how was that? Was that the community telling you?
So the first ward back in the day was mostly industrial.
Mm-hmm.
So you had warehouses here, but now it has changed where we have a school, spray park, recreation center, churches, playground. So it has changed where it's not industrial no more.
Right.
So, like you said, certain individuals who live in the community say, hey, Carlos, you know, can we stop the trucks from going down here? We did a traffic study.
Right.
We did an emission study. So trucks were putting out too much pollution in the air.
Right.
So we created an ordinance. I had to call a state assemblyman and assemblywoman. They wrote a letter to Trenton, and we made Front Street, First Street, Second Street, and Third Street 4-ton limit. Unless you're making a local delivery to a supermarket.
Right.
That's the only time they're allowed to go down there. But again, it's about the community. The community, I can't see everything. So you have to tell me exactly what you see on your block so that I can address it, you know.
Right. So being that you said that, right?
But there's still individuals who still try to sneak in, you know.
Oh, yeah, I see them sometimes.
Yeah, because even where I work at, you hear the good truckers come, you know, when they pick up from us, oh, they shut this down. And I'm like, hey, man, that ain't just happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they kids out here now, stuff like that. Like, got to understand. Because I remember, like, we remember growing up, that was almost like interstate. Like, they was, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't that many traffic stops like it is now. So
all that.
I do like the safety upgrades down there compared to when we was coming up. It was almost at your own wrist to cross on First.
Yeah, it's so much different when we grew up. Like, we walked to school back then. You know, everything is bus now.
I mean, and it was fun. You know what I mean? Like, these, I will always say these kids don't understand.
The mornings on the way to school or in the afternoon on the way back.
Yeah, I like snow. You laughed at, huh? You know what I mean? Now it's snow. School ain't even open now. It's like,
yeah, y'all old.
Now you talk to
y'all starting to tell them stories. You remember when I went to school, we had to walk 30 feet of snow.
It's a fact.
Now you talk to parents, and they're like, oh, I'm waiting for my son's bus. What school do you go to? Oh, it's 3 blocks up the street.
Be like, how? How? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, I remember coming up, like, you almost had to give, like, yo, say I stay here just so I can get that bus pass to get the batting. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they was like, no, you live 2 blocks too early. Like, how?
Yeah,
you know
that's crazy that we always had to walk.
Yeah, like, I don't understand. Like, Cleveland went to batting quicker than Baton went to batting. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how that went.
Word up. So, now, you talked about, you know, being a councilman, how you started out a youth sports organization, how you was in the beginning, like you know, one of the founders of the Ride Pedal movement. Do you got anything else you about to build? You know, you got any more? You started Pray, Puerto Rican Alliance of Elizabeth. What's next for Councilman Carlos Torres? Or is it just a holding pattern, maintaining everything? And
right now I'm currently back in school trying to get my degree. I'm at
that's what's up.
UCC.
Okay.
So hopefully within the next couple of years I don't know if we're gonna walk down an aisle anymore, but hopefully, you know, I can check that box off. You know, I wanted to show my kids that it's never too late, you know, to go back. You know, I have 4 beautiful children, and I wanted to show them that it's never too late to go back to get your degree.
Oh, that's cool.
But no, right now my plans in the first ward is just development. You know, I made a promise 6 years ago that I'm gonna try to eliminate every eyesore that I see. Right. And put some type of development there. So right now we have 2 developments on First Street and Third Street. It's gonna be 60 affordable apartments. Okay. But out of those affordable apartments, there's going to be apartments allocated for parents with special needs. Okay. And The other one on 3rd Street is going to be for the homeless. So there's going to be some type of help where if you live there, you'll have someone there to help you get back on your feet, or if it's special needs, you know, who to contact if you can't get in the school system. So I'm pretty proud to say that that's going to be my next two developments.
So those are just priorities.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I have two things. One, how can we get Jackson Park back to not looking like a ghost town? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you just look at this park and be like you said, you remember stuff. Like, and you look like nobody, like, how, like,
kids don't come out no more. They're all in their video games no more. That was my football field outside of football.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's take it to Jackson Park.
So Jackson Park was a passive park. I had nothing in there. Again, one of my first projects, I put a jungle gym in there.
Right.
I put a kickball. I put volleyball, and they still don't use it.
Yeah,
you even have shuffleboard. I don't even know how to play shuffleboard, but you have shuffleboard.
What is shuffleboard?
It's where you got the stick.
No, I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I be looking like, man, even like you said, I remember we used to use the park to do, like, homemade track meets.
Yeah.
Remember? Like, we used to do that. I remember being College Thomas. Like, you know what I mean? That's what we used to do. You know what I mean? And you run around enough time, that was a mile. You know what I mean? Like, it was exercise.
And the one positive thing is the school. When School 1 and School 8, which is the old St. Pat's, when they come out for recess, they use that park.
Oh, okay.
They use that park, but the community doesn't really. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I need to add a couple more things in there. Because now it has a water feature. It has everything there.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's like, wow. It's almost like, it's so, I would say, underutilized.
Yeah.
And with all the people that's in the first ward, it's almost like they bypass that part to go to Montana. In a way, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand.
But I know one thing it always been. You could correct me if I'm wrong. It's a little more restrictions there at Jackson Park as well, right? Like, can't really grill or cook, no open flame grill.
Yeah.
So that might be some of the reason people bypass it to do those type of things.
Okay.
But, you know, it's it need to be utilized. A lot of times we overlook in our communities the resources that we do have. So many people focusing on what we don't have, and you don't even use the stuff that's here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
The resources and all that's here. So
that's
we got to make sure we use that. Get out there.
Yeah, because like I said, even if it's just like a practice field, something, you know what I mean? Just to get the kids back in that park.
Well, what I'm trying to do now, another project that I'm working on, is the Todd Bowles Field.
Okay.
So right now, the Todd Bowles Sports Complex is a soccer field and football field. So if you go down there right now, we're actually
on that corner.
On the corner, we're actually doing a parking lot because many individuals who come out of town to see their son or daughter play sports take parking in the community, and they'll block your driveway or take your parking spot.
Right.
So I decided to pave that. Working with John Papetti, the director of Public Works, we're going to have 150 parking spots right next to the football field.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be the first phase. After that, we're actually going to put a baseball field behind the football field. So when the kids hit a home run, it goes into the water.
Okay.
So something like in San Francisco, Candlestick Park.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
McCovey Cove or something.
Then we're going to put a basketball court right next to the baseball field, and then an exercise area where you can do pull-ups and.
So it's going to be a true sports complex.
Absolutely.
Then. What's like a 36-month deal? Like do you have a time frame on each situation?
No.
Okay.
I can go back, but right now the parking lot is getting done, so it's going to be done in phases.
Okay. Okay, cool. Man, that's nice.
Yeah, we're getting some stuff done, man. Shout out Councilman Carlos Torres working for the people. I want to ask you a couple of things. We do this here sometime. We know we got you on the hot seat. We're going to ask you a couple real questions. You know,
I didn't inhale. I promise you.
There's video,
That's not
folks.
what we heard.
There's video.
Hey, they pull up that video.
Yeah.
See, you don't know what we got. What is your favorite Sports teams. Football.
49ers.
Baseball.
Mets.
Basketball.
It used to be Chicago, but when Michael left, I'm done. I don't.
You like the Mets?
Absolutely. The amazing Mets. Come on.
They amazingly suck.
I can't say no. I like the Mets. Yeah.
Who's your favorite rapper ever?
LL Cool J.
I knew he would say that because he used to think he was LL Cool J. I got to tell y'all this part. When I Need Love, the video came out, this Joker would practice every day. You remember that?
No,
when I'm alone in my room.
It wasn't I Need Love.
It was I'm Bad.
I'm Bad.
Okay. I'm going to tell you what I remember. I Need Love, you counted how many times he hugged the girl at the end. Do you remember? But I'm Bad. He used to try to work on all the moves, everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
LL, the greatest of all times, the GOAT.
He the GOAT. He brought that to the game, man.
He ain't messing with Chris. Let's keep that clear. Ain't nobody messing with Chris.
Two different.
Yeah. They scared of Chris.
Yeah.
All of New York scared.
Chris doesn't lick his lips 100 times. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
he just my philosophy.
He used to do that too. His lips, my lips getting chapped. You keep licking them. What the
And that whole shark all of this, like he did too much.
Crazy.
So my thing, okay, now, First Ward, you had to know I was going to ask you this one.
Uh-oh.
How can we get some sensibility with the pier?
Great question. I actually was down there yesterday. My plan right now is to either close it or put a police officer there. Because I went there yesterday to get a slice of pizza, and I called the chief up, and I sent someone now. Because it's not like they're playing all the same music. It's one speaker versus another speaker, and I'm not talking about little speakers.
No.
It's out of control.
They put it on top of the car.
On top of the cars. They towing cars that don't even work just because they have a loud speaker.
Right.
And you can't. And I feel so bad for the individuals who live, which is your family. There's an autistic kid, autistic boy who lives across the street. You can't even watch TV.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? But if the residents don't call, like if I didn't go to get a slice of pizza, I wouldn't know that they were there that day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some days that I come past and I was like do my little patrol. But we've been issuing tickets because of the whole COVID. They take their license and they mail them a ticket in the mail. But I promise you that I am on that and 3rd Street. There's two locations that I don't like what I'm seeing so far.
And like for us, it was more or less like, okay, we all grew up with the music. But when you start putting speakers on top, where you can't even watch your own television, and then the burning out of bikes, and like, I don't know, they're making music videos, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the security guard that works in the booth in the pier don't want no part of it.
Yeah, he has to call.
Yeah,
he
don't
has
want
to
no.
call. So now when he closes up, I have to have a police officer there when he closes because parks close at 9.
Right.
So when he gets there, basically, those individuals are not even paying him attention. So by the time he finishes, it's like 10 o'clock, he's closing that park.
Yeah.
So now we send a police officer with them. They put on the lights, and they got to start leaving. But I'm definitely
Okay.
on that.
That's the only thing you said, as from somebody living across, you said,
No. I never knew it was that bad until they called me. I never knew it was that bad. I mean, they had cars changing the oil, taking the tires off.
Like it's a whole
Everybody
show.
Smoking hookahs. It was like
it's a whole show.
It was an outside club.
It really is. No,
a
it
lot
really
of people
is.
are not from Elizabeth.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, that I didn't know. So they be coming from out of town to come down the pier, which is a great spot just for a family outing to sit there. The water's calming. You see people jet skiing sometime, right? Feeling the little breeze there.
I just had my movie night there.
Yep.
And when's the next one?
Saturday.
September 19th.
Black Panther.
Oh, okay. Somebody just had that last night somewhere. With an outdoor situation.
Yeah.
Had Black Panther. I think I saw it on social media. Somebody
September
else.
19th.
I usually I do it further down at Veterans Memorial Park.
Right.
Where people could bring out blankets and chairs. But because of COVID and the whole social distancing, I decided to do a drive-in. So there's only like 98 spots available.
Right.
So first come, first serve.
That's how you're going to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, look, it was really great having you on this show, man. We found out a lot. What's going on in Elizabeth, what's going on with you personally. I want to tell you I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I want to also tell you I appreciate the work you're doing, you know. We did a lot of work together, shoulder to shoulder, and I tell you one thing, he get in, get dirty. Whether, like in football, for example, he's the president of the football organization. But he out there cleaning helmets, putting equipment on the field, always been the guy to jump in and do whatever it takes, man. So
now, one question: as councilman, what are your years? Is it 2 years, 4 years? Like
it's every 4 years.
Okay, so when is your next? When you go back
22.
up? 22. Okay.
Oh, okay. So you got a good little while there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, nice.
But I want to say I'm proud of you guys as well. I finally made it to Duality TV. I think.
I mean, you know, our agents had to talk to your agent. You know, we tried to put this together last year, but
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they said you couldn't fit us in your schedule, but you know, now things connect. You had time, we had time, and
they had to check the ratings, and you know.
If we get a rating spike, I'll never hear the end of it.
Oh my God, yeah, it's over.
Yo, I made your show hot. I can mention that right now.
Like,
I did that. I made your show hot.
Bullwitch want next week. Like, you know what I mean? They get Bullwitch up here, then they can happen for real. That's when you know.
Yeah, bro, we might have to lean on you, get some of these other political figures to come on this platform.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
This is something positive, man. This is what it's about.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, man. Like,
you know, last week you guys had Thomas Orr and his wife about credit. That was very informative. I mean, I took some stuff down. I wrote it down. And
here's the thing, man. Next week we got strippers. I mean, because we gotta even the playing field.
Some of them might be midgets. We working on that.
Yeah, we got a couple of emails.
I mean, excuse me, small people.
Who?
Small people.
Yeah, it's not political.
Oh, height challenge.
You can't say midgets.
Can't say midgets.
You have to say little people, right? Not even small people. It's little people.
Is anyone from Lookers?
Two.
They said
two. We got two.
How do you know about Lookers, Councilman?
It's in my ward, and they got closed down during the pandemic.
But that ain't the best answer.
Ooh, he's political. He's learning the game.
Baby, I love you. What happened?
Yo, we just like to have a good time up here, and you said informative, so we, you know, that's our mantra. You know, come to Duality Podcast, tune in, be informed, and get entertained. So we hope we doing both of those things.
And you live in the first ward, and you heard them, big things are coming. Just stay tuned, keep riding, and he gonna get a lot of things fixed. You know, when is your next meeting? You know, I know how you do the first ward meeting. When is that?
It's the first Wednesday of every month.
First Wednesday of every month. Okay.
But it's actually outside now. Well, no, actually we can go inside now since the governor.
Do y'all got that 25% for the inside for that? That's gonna be the same way?
Yeah.
Okay.
While you right here with us, you could do this too. I'm gonna shout out a couple people that was checking in on my live watch. Big Diesel, Sean McClain, 10 toes down. Tommy Orr, you just spoke on. What's up, bruh? Got Erica, Mrs. Social Butterfly. Pam, I see you out there. Georgette. Showtime, my man, that Ramapo love. See you out there. Man, Al, Flash. Yo, Fresh. Oh, I want to send a happy birthday shout out to a fellow Virgo, New Jersey 20th Legislative District State Assemblyman Jamel Holly.
Okay.
Happy birthday to the Virgo. You know, we in here.
Been glad when that shit is over.
Rachapo, Tally B, what's good? Tanya, how you? So just a couple people I wanted to shout out right quick that was checking in on there with us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our time is up. Once again, we want to thank First Ward Councilman Carlos Torres for being on our show. I'm Mr. Business.
And it's your boy, Mr. Social.
This is Duality Podcast. See you next week.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.